See this right here? Sometimes gremlins come in the form of cats, man. You know what I'm saying? And hormones. And like I've been saying lately about CERN, the CERN psychosis, potential behavior modification. And so sometimes when I say gremlin, I don't always mean gremlins from the movie. I just mean a gremlin could be anything that makes something become lost, makes just causes problems or stress or uh disconvenience, or sometimes even more. It's like seems like blatant sabotage by forces. Sometimes those forces are people. Sometimes they're forces inside of people operating through them. Sometimes it seems like it's just uh supernatural entities, man. I mean, or bad luck, maybe some people could say too, maybe. But the gremlins, man, they strike. If you ever seen the movie, it's like they multiply, like they start fires, so you got when you put out the fire, they multiply when you hit them with water. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you might get them almost all, you get you get the gremlins under control, right? And just here they go. They start coming again. And here's where the word gremlin even comes from. It comes from World War One or World War Two, and the bombers and in the planes and in the tanks, and they were going around, and I think it was like a tradition of other people that they learned. Like people said that the gnomes, basically the gremlins, they and little people. The Indians said there was little people. They actually killed Kawazawin, which was high or the Kawazawin the strong man. He was in it was in Hiawatha, man, in its original legends. But supposedly little people, miniature people, like little fairy type short people, little connivers, were afraid of him because he was just so strong, and they were afraid that he was going to destroy them because he was so strong, so they connived and killed him. You know what I mean? It's kind of it's crazy. So I mean, this isn't just, did it come from, I'm not sure if it came from Asian or Oriental, or if it actually came from European, or maybe it's a composite, like, kind of like Mexican Santeria is kind of a mix of Caribbean, North American Indian, and Catholic. Like, it's all in one soup, like they use saints, like all these weird saints that you don't even know, like, who is that? That ain't from the Bible. You know what I'm saying? They use all this, and you find out it's just kind of a composite, or I think it's called, Jordan Maxwell calls it this, eclectic. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what a Rosicrucian is it's eclectic. You're picking up knowledge from all these different things because it's just the same knowledge, but it's passed down through the generations to different people. Different people expound upon different aspects of that information. That information is the knowledge of good and evil. And it's like, do you know what a witch really looks like? A witch doesn't go like this with their fingers and shoot out bolts of lightning. You know what I'm saying? Or she doesn't always mix bat's wing and goat eye and newt's tail and in the cauldron. Really, it's like Anton LaVey was talking about. It just starts as bitchcraft. It's just or it starts as princess programming, pink, everything pink, all me, the love of self. Then the chick gets broke down that no one cares about her as much as she thinks she's worth about herself. Then she goes all black and goes into total rebellious mode, and then starts to practice in lying, manipulation, subduction, persuasion, fraud, having, you know what I'm saying? Just jumping from partner to partner like it ain't nothing, like you don't care, with no care. I mean, I don't care. That might be fun for a while or whatever, but it's going to come with some consequences, dramas, and other things, worse things. You know what I'm saying? People die. Like my grandma used to tell me this, man. She was like, more wars have been started really literally over women. You know what I'm saying? Than anything else. And if you look around, a lot of times, man, that is highly true. You know, like Cleopatra. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. You look, you know, this does happen. You know what I'm saying? You do, like John the Baptist got his head cut off. Why? Because a woman dancing for another guy. You know what I'm saying? It's women do look. You know, now we got Hillary Clinton running for president. You know what I'm saying? For instance, women are responsible for a lot of the wars, man. Or it started over pussy, man. Is what I think is the way it was. It boils down to, excuse my French. You know what I'm saying? But when it's like more like filthy lucre. It's not, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to being something, you know, sacred, it becomes this filthy lucre. You know what I'm saying? But these guys, it's like my grandpa Joe too. He was in Vietnam, and while growing up, he used to like he'd sit there and he'd see me playing with my toys, and he'd be like, "Man, Chris, man, you're leaving out them booby traps for me." He goes, "You know what? You see your little toy cars right there?" He goes, "Look, if I'm walking out here barefoot," he's like, "I got nerve damage in my foot from the Agent Orange." He's like, "If I step on that car," he goes, "I'm gonna fall down and break my neck." He goes, "You know what that is?" He goes, "That's a booby trap." And so I've always walked around kind of knowing, like sometimes sabotage comes from, you know, it just comes from a kid leaving his toy car out, but walking to the bathroom at night in the dark, that turns into a booby trap. And he just learned that from, because I mean basically what he said he did in Vietnam is he walked around and he looked for tripwires. He had to go in areas and look for tripwires. So it was a very high, that's a high stress, anxiety type of situation just off Jump Street. So and a lot of times they got to go in the area with just a few dudes and disarm it before the rest of the people can come in. So it's it's a shitty spot. So I mean, he developed some of those kind of habits like that. You know what I'm saying? Of or you know, uh, it's you know, I'm not sure what that's called, right? Yeah, it's PTSD, I guess, in a way too. Kind of being overcautious because you were in a stressful situation. And you see, I had another buddy, man, talking about, he had a similar thing where he's like, "I don't like driving around garbage because he's like, I can't stop thinking, you know, looking at every little piece of thing anywhere as suspicious," because he was over there driving around in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? And it's a different ball game in that situation. And then, you know, so sometimes you'll remember something from a different situation, you know, and you'll be looking at it kind of, you'll be treating it all serious. You know what I'm saying? Because you're used to treating something that serious. So you got, since you don't, there ain't bombs no more, you gotta look at something else this is my new danger that I'm gonna stay vigilant to avoid. You know what I'm saying? Basically, but no, it's basically gremlins can be just uh laziness. It can be lackadaisicalness. You know what I'm saying? Where you're just, you know, your carelessness, just unthoughtfulness. You know what I'm saying? It's just gremlins can come from your own uh just from your own attitude and your own energies, you know? Like they say, what goes around comes around. That's a true statement. So sometimes you're your own gremlin, you know? But sometimes it's not you. It's just uh it seems like things work together to sabotage you or just kind of give you a hard time, man, or just wear you out. Uh, it's so crazy how many of these things there is now these days. But lately, dude, past few days, I've been having like constant synchronicity, like numbers popping up, like odd, like symbols popping up in one platform, and then having them displayed in another over here, and then things in the sky having a conversation like about something strange, then something like really strange and random and out of the like irregular action just happened while we be happening sitting there observing it, talking about some metaphysical or quantum physical type of stuff, and then have some just weird poltergeist type activity go down. In the same moment while we were talking about one thing, this other thing kind of happens, man. It's just strange things like that, and that was almost like a gremlin situation where like some little dwarf just wreaked some chaos, like ordo ab chaos, like just kind. That's I think that's kind of called I think that's Murphy's law, where it's like anything that can go wrong will go wrong at some point, and that is kind of the gremlin. The butterfly effect is the gremlin. It's like for instance, like someone farting over here could cause a volcano eruption on the other side of the earth. I mean, that's one way you could say it. Somebody falls and bumps their head over here, and it causes an earthquake over somewhere else, or a hurricane. Someone takes a pee in Florida, and in Australia there's a drought. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like a weird aspect of the gremlins, you know. And even these odd synchronicities, man. It's like sometimes, is it the Matrix, or is it just, are they trying to appear as if it's the Matrix to make us believe it's the Matrix, so we'll submit anyway? Or, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy, man. It's so psychological. Whether it's, I mean, the whole psyops is actually how the media is rolling now. Like, it's straight propaganda for real. And I mean, you can't. That's non-debatable. You can't dispute that. That is the truth. I mean, it's declassified. It's FOIA. That's Freedom of Information Act. You know what I'm saying? FOIA request. You know, this is FOIA, bro. It's OV. It's done, man. It's FOIA, man. It's already out. Cat's out the bag. It's like, just you didn't read the memo. You got the memo. You just didn't read it. You know what I'm saying? And you was willingly ignorant of the truth. And all of us suffer. You know what I'm saying? For your you know, for not at least doing just doing something, man. You know what I'm saying? Or at least admit and just admit, you know what, sometimes that it's crazy, man. And that's the gremlin sometimes you're fighting against, is that people, man, for some reason will play this other game, man, the game of death, man, where it's just like death and destruction and despair. They just run around doing that too. So I mean, sometimes you run into the gremlins that way, and that brings in sometimes strange, it seems enough, energies. Some people just say energies, and a lot of occultists just say energies, and it really means spirits, demons, principalities. Like I seen something today where this girl, her name was Jordan Morningstar, and she was 22 and she died, and a tree fell on her in a camp, or in a frisbee golf course on a camping trip. You know what I'm saying? I was just at the frisbee golf course. My tree fell down in the backyard, and I look at this thing, and I'm like, man, dude, that is just so strange. That is such a synchronicity, odd event. And then the 22 is that's one of those funny numbers. You know what I'm saying? That name, you know, it's in the Bible. It means, you know, it means planets. It means also it's got many meanings, man. And it's just that was strange. And it seems like everyone knows this person. And I was thinking, man, this almost looks like a SHFT TF extraction. You know what I'm saying? And it's real close to home. And they're, you know, I mean, it's just, that's the gremlin. Did the gremlins get her? Or did someone make it look like gremlins got her? Or seriously, is this like strange Final Destination that's just, it's insane, man. But I see, you know, it's like, yeah, these synchronicities, and just coincidences, man, are everywhere.